Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Got a few people in. I don't know how many lives elsewhere are going on, but we are here. And just wanted to kind of come on, do a few updates on cases that I'm following that are not Kylie Rodney and seem to have been so heavily invested in Kylie Rodney for the last 3 weeks, however long, that I feel like I've neglected other cases. So let's do some updates that are not related to Kylie Rodney. So that's what I decided to do today. So it's 5 p.m. where I am here in Northern England. I'm guessing it's going to be morning time or early afternoon for most of you guys. As 70% of my audience is in America. So welcome everybody. Bug Love says, see you all in 55 minutes. Presumably, that was 55 minutes ago. Hi, Holly. Rose with Thorns. I've not got any major updates, just cases that I'm following. Just wanted to see where we are with them. What's the latest with those cases? So I'm going to be covering, let me think, Olivia, Pratt, Carbo, who's a UK case just 28 miles away from where I am currently sitting. So almost on my doorstep. There's some updates in that case. I want to talk about Cleother Anderson, who's now changed his name to Cleother Anderson. He's got some additional charges. Julissa Fuentes, just a quick update on her. Just basically to say there's no real updates on her, but I am following her case quite closely. And then a case that some of you will have heard of. I think a few channels have picked up on this case now, but I've not talked about this case before. And there's not a great deal of information out there on it. So I think the channels that have covered it, I think have pretty much covered everything there is to know about it. And that is Crystal Anderson from Wagner in South Carolina. She's been missing since the 20th of August. So a long time. And it's a very odd case. Very strange case. So I want to just talk about that a little bit. And then I'm happy to answer any question you might have about any case, if I can. So we'll do a little bit of Q&A as well. So hi, Trixie Star. Welcome for everyone. Trixie is the mod here. She's one mod here. We've got a few mods on this channel. So welcome, Trixie Star. Melinda. Who else have we got? Honor Jean. Vanity. Angela Gallagher. Cecile. Who else have we got? Ravenslight. Stephen. Hello. Mommy. Hi. Tweety Lynn. Hi. Mom's Amore 68. Giggles in South Carolina. Lunchtime. I'm assuming SC stands for South Carolina. Might not do. Might stand for something else. But lunchtime where you are. Hi, Emily. Linda. Oh, wow. 2 a.m. in Australia. So way past everybody's bedtime. Wow. Casey, hello. Call me Chris. Hello. Tracker, A Wolf. Twiggy Kilt. Jennifer, good afternoon. From Canada. Irene, hello. Melissa. Who else? Cheeky Llama. Broken Goth Doll. Isabel. Dina. Carrie. Lots of people. Terry, Lola. Hi, everyone coming in. So got a few people coming in now. It's 11:05 a.m. in Missouri. Okay, good stuff. All right, so did I hear that Miss Bly filed? I did hear that, Twiggy Kilt. I did hear that. I don't know what I feel about that. I guess that there's a reason for it. I don't know whether it's a justifiable reason for it. I have no idea. But there will be a hearing, won't there? Like if it's an order of protection, then for that to stand, for that to, you know, go beyond just a temporary thing, might be just a warning, like keep away from me kind of thing. But if it's going to stand its ground, it's actually going to, you know, stand the test of time and become an actual, you know, rather than temporary, it's going to be actual for any length of time, then there's going to have to be a hearing. So I don't know what county that would have been filed in, because I don't know where Candice is living now. I know she's in Tennessee, but I don't know what county she's in. So it's apparently true, Cecile. It's apparently true, but I've not been able to go and fact check it because I don't know what county it's been filed in. So Don B has said that that's what's happened, but I can't fact check it. So apparently it's true. If anybody knows what county that's from, then I'll go and have a look. I'll go and have a look on the records in that county and see if there's an actual case. But yeah, don't know. I mean, orders of protection, they're normally domestic, aren't they? Right, usually it's those kind of things are domestic. Or stalking. So whether she deems that he's been stalking her, I mean, we've no idea, you know, no idea. So Jefferson County, is it Jefferson? I can check Jefferson. I'm not going to do it right now because we'll just assume it's that she has filed, unless yeah. But if anybody's in the area, find out when the hearing is and go to it, and then you'll find out information. Okay. I don't think he did. Did he? Did he? I'm curious now. Hold on. Just double check. I don't think he did say. Unless he's done a video on it that I've missed. I thought it was just a community post. Because he's been talking about Kylie Rodney for the longest time. Oh, it's not even on his community anymore. No, it's not even on his community anymore. Huh. Interesting. Oh well. Anyway, to the cases that I want to talk about. So let's start with Cleother, the horrible man. Absolutely. Oh, he was on someone's panel, was he? Oh, okay. Okay. Whose panel was he on? I'll go and check it out. Just let me know whose panel it was. Anyway, we'll start with Cleother. Horrible man that he is. And this is the guy that has been charged with first-degree murder of Eliza Fletcher in Memphis, Tennessee. So she was missing a couple of days. She went missing on I can't remember now, the 6th of September. And he was arrested just a couple of days later. So he was arrested for her kidnap initially, and then her body was found very quickly. So he was caught by a sandal. He left his flip-flop, his slider at the scene. Her phone was at the scene. There's a whole array of evidence against him. So personally speaking, I'm in no doubt whatsoever that they've got the right guy. But in investigating Eliza's case, he's managed to bag 3 more charges here. So you can see it's a different case because it's a different case number. So this is Eliza's case, ending in 222. There's a separate case here about theft. And then there's another case here, identity theft, theft of property. Now, he was charged with those at the same time. But just like the walls have come crashing down on Cleother. And there was an aggravated rape that occurred in 2021, which it looks by the case number, these 3 are all the same case. So aggravated rape, especially aggravated kidnapping, unlawful carrying or possession of a weapon. Yeah, that happened in 2021. And apparently he was a suspect in that case. But in running the DNA and investigating Eliza's case, he's been caught for that as well. So that's his current rap sheet. So absolutely horrendous. And remember, this guy has only been out of prison for a couple of years. He was he'd done a 20-year stretch for kidnapping when he was 16 years old. He was part of a small team that kidnapped a lawyer, and he did 20 years. Oh, it's on Nana's Angels. All right, I'll go and check that out after this live. I'll go and check that out. Thanks. Thank you. Go and get it. Go and have a look. All right. So Cleother has only been out of jail or out of prison for 2 years, or just over 2 years. And he's committed a rape that was a kidnap. He's now stepped it up to kidnap and murder. We don't know at the moment whether Eliza was sexually assaulted as part of that kidnap and murder. But if he's done it before, I'm going to guess that was his motive. You've got to ask the question, why was this guy allowed to roam the streets? Why was he allowed to roam the streets? Now, I understand that, you know, if you've done your time, you serve your time and you're released, but wasn't he monitored? Wasn't there any warning signs? If he kidnapped someone and raped someone in 2021, how well was that investigated? I've just got a lot of questions. You know, that was Eliza's murder, was it preventable? I think is the question that I want answered. You know, was it preventable? Should that guy have been walking the streets? And these are just the charges that we know so far. There might be other things. There might be other people who've been assaulted, who we've not heard about yet, who've not reported yet. It's just an absolutely vile man. It really is. It's horrible. It's just horrible. Oh, you're watching while you're at work. I put things in my ears. I listen to lives and podcasts and things like all day when I'm doing stuff. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that he, like the kidnap that he went down for when he was 16, that wasn't his first offence, was it? And his dad's a bad one as well. His dad's a wrong un. The DNA for the 2021 case just came back on September the 5th. Took weeks. If this case happened in 2021, has it just been reported? Well, it can't have just been reported. If there's DNA, then it had to have been reported at the time for there to be DNA that's testable, right? So why was that not tested at the time? DNA analysis only takes a handful of days nowadays. It's not like the old days when you had to wait weeks and weeks and weeks. Like I don't know. I've got questions. I've really got questions. Exactly, Anonymous. His DNA should have been in Cordis, but it was. It was in Cordis because that's how they got him. That's how they got him, because he's done. Look, he's done a 20-year stretch, so they'll have his fingerprints on file. They'll have his DNA on file. That's how they caught him, from the DNA on his flip-flop that he left at the scene. That's how they caught him in Eliza's case. The DNA tested the flip-flop. Because, yeah, you go out kidnapping and murdering people in flip-flops. That's what led me to think that this was an opportunistic crime rather than it was a hitman. A hitman would have done it better, wouldn't have left flip-flops at a scene. So, what are you doing? Hello. Cassie's here. Hello. Hello. Oh, thank you to the person who sent a packet of treats for these guys. Cassie beat me to it. The postman, they put the letters through the door this morning. The package came through the door. Cassie beat me to it. She'd already opened it by the time I even knew that I got mail. She also opened one of my other letters and yeah, had a go at chewing that. So fortunately it wasn't important, but she's taken to opening my mail, which I'm pretty sure is illegal, but she doesn't care. But thank you. There was no note on it. And thank you to the person who sent the care package recently. There was 2 squeaky toys in it and a big bag of gravy bones. So thank you to that person. I think there was a note in that one. If I remember rightly, that was from Deborah, but if I remember rightly. So thank you to everybody who's sending Cassie and Tilly some treats. She is ruthless. She is absolutely ruthless. Yeah. If I hadn't have noticed, I noticed because it was rustling. I could hear rustling. And I thought, hold on a minute. I heard the postman and then I heard rustling. So I thought, she's got the letters again. So came downstairs. There she is with a packet of treats in her mouth. She was just about to rip it apart and eat them all before Tilly even got a chance. But I managed to wrestle them off her. So she hasn't just eaten an entire packet of treats without sharing them. So that's good. But I was on it. I was listening. When I hear rustling, I know it's Cassie. But yeah, back to this DNA. So his DNA was already in Cordis. They caught him for Eliza on that. So why? I need to know. There must be more out there on this 2021 case. Hopefully more will come out on it. But yeah, judicial system is broken. It's broken. I feel it's brought my judicial system in the UK leaves a lot to be desired. But when I hear about some of these cases in the States and just how badly investigated they are, I said I wasn't going to talk about Kylie Rodney in this stream because I've just talked about Kylie's case so much that I'll do one stream where I don't mention Kylie's case, but that case is just brings it home to you just how badly investigated that was. And I just feel like, what can you do? What can you do? It's just not good at all. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on to Jolissa. So Jolissa, after Adventures with Purpose, went to clear Avocado Lake and Pine Flats. The law enforcement in her jurisdiction has now they've upgraded that to a criminal case. So she's no longer just a missing person. She's now considered a criminal case and a suspected abduction. So for those not familiar with Jolissa's case, I did a live stream on it last week. So I went through the entire case last week. And she went missing just one day after Kylie. She went missing on the 7th of September. No. I'm wrong on that, aren't I? What day are we? 13th. August. Yeah, she went missing in August, not September. Oh my God. 13th of September. So she'd have gone missing on the 7th of August. I think I'm right in that. It was one day after Kylie anyway. And her family claim that, they didn't get much help from the local sheriff's office. In the first week or so, they didn't get any help whatsoever. She was just kind of deemed, she's an adult, she's 22 years old, she's an adult, she can go off on her own if she wants to. But Jolissa's family knew that that's not what happened. They knew that she wasn't the kind of young woman who would just up and leave. And, she'd been to a party, she'd left the party, she'd gone home. She lived with her grandma in Selma, California. She'd gone home and then she'd rung her brother and told her brother that she was just going to the store. And there is CCTV footage of her at the store and then leaving. And then that's it. Apart from a couple of calls to her sister, who unfortunately didn't pick up. Her sister was sleeping. That's it. Vehicles missing. Phones missing. Jolissa's missing. I'm going to have to go and shout at these guys. Oi! So Adventures with Purpose went straight to Selma after they'd finished with Kylie's case. And they cleared Avocado Lake and Pine Flats. Now, her phone last pinged at Avocado Lake, which is about half an hour or so's drive north of where Jolissa lived. And Jolissa liked Avocado Lake. That's where she would go for, just to sit and just, commune with nature, just to sit, walk around. That was her place. So it makes sense that if she just wanted to be on her own for a few hours, that she'd have gone to Avocado Lake. So when her family kind of found out that her phone last pinged there, that was a place that she used to go to. So that's not a surprise in itself. However, where is she? So Adventures with Purpose released part 1 of 2 videos today. Some of you will have seen it. And they did the interview They did that. The whole video was an interview with the family. So go and watch that. If you're not that familiar with Jolissa's case, they did a good interview. And they are desperate. They are desperate for any news whatsoever about Jolissa at all. Any news. They just want to know where she is. They've pleaded. You know, it was a very emotional plea that they gave in that video. You know, just let her go. Just release her. We won't ask questions. Just let her go. But you know, after this time, I mean, it's over a month now, isn't it? I'm very concerned. But at least the police are taking it a little bit more seriously now. They have put some resources into it. They have done some searches. And they have now deemed it a criminal investigation. But yeah, Jolissa's missing. And there's no sign of her. No, nothing. How does someone just disappear? How does an adult just disappear? You know, there's no further pings off her phone. Her phone's just been off. Her family call her and text her every day, just with the hope that one day that phone might be on and she answers. Her bank account hasn't been touched. You know, when a digital footprint just disappears like that from an adult, it's not good, is it? It's not good. She hasn't just run away. She hasn't just wanted to be on her own for whatever reason. There's foul play involved here. There really is. Ah, watching live in bed with one of my puppies. Yeah, they are. They're a very close-knit family. And they're a big family, you know, and they were able to go out in force that first week when, you know, they knew, you know, after a few hours, you know, they said that Jolissa would keep in contact with at least one member of her family. She'd speak to at least one member of her family every day. She lived with her grandma. You know, when grandma couldn't get hold of her, she didn't come home, grandma became concerned, and they were able, because they're a big family, because they're a close-knit family, to go out all around like the areas, into the hills, and do as many searches as they physically could without the help of the police. But like I said, at least now, you know, they do have some cooperation of the police. But is it too late? You kind of ask yourself. There is a Facebook group. Trixie Stars put the Facebook group here. I'm in that group. I follow that group. And we just hope, you know, we can hope that she's still alive. She's not gone of her own free will, let's put it that way. But she could be still alive. She could be being held somewhere for whatever reason. But yeah, 22 years old, a whole life in front of her, loving family, you know, worked hard, and she's just gone. Very, very sad. But we can hold out hope that she's alive somewhere. No car. No car. So the two main bodies of water closest to that phone ping were Avocado Lake, Pine Flats. They've been cleared by Adventures with Purpose. And it's once those were cleared that law enforcement then upgraded it to a criminal investigation. Now, there are other bodies of water, you know, and there's lots and lots of hills and terrain out there to go and search. But no, a car's missing, her phone's missing, she's missing, and her bank hasn't been touched. So It doesn't look good. She's not gone of her own accord, let's put it that way. So if she is alive, then she's being held against her will. I can guarantee that. Yeah. I mean, let's just get the maps up for a minute. And it's Selma. What are we doing here? All right. Okay, so this is Selma. It's not too far from Fresno. And then there's just all of this. I mean, a lot of it's flat, but it's desolate. And then you get up into the mountains. I mean, there's so many places that you could hide a vehicle and a body. I mean, where do you even start looking? Where do you even start looking? You know, but somebody could have taken her out of state. If she's been abducted, they could take her out of state. Just where do you know, Avocado Lake's just up here. That's Avocado Lake there. But that's been cleared by Adventures with Purpose. And then Pine Flats is just up here somewhere a little bit further to the north. That's Pine Flats. That's been cleared by Adventures with Purpose. But just look at it. It's desolate. There's just nothing out there. I mean, look at it. So if somebody's murdered her, and hopefully that's not the case, but if somebody has murdered her, there's so many places that she could have been hidden, and her car could have been hidden. So you just have to hold out hope. Hold out hope. Okay, let's move on to Olivia now. Olivia Pratt Carbo. So this is the little 9-year-old girl who was murdered just 28 miles away from where I'm currently sitting, in a suburb of Liverpool called Dovecot. And it's a very, very sad case. And I've been reporting on this case regularly. I've got, it's not on this channel, it's on MichelleAfterDark, but I've got a Olivia Pratt Carbo playlist. So every time I do a video or a live and I talk about Olivia, I put it in that playlist. So I'll put this video in that playlist as well. And she's just a gorgeous little girl, and unfortunately she's had her life snuffed out by a gunman who just indiscriminately started shooting. But there's a little bit of a story to it, so I'll go through the story. This is the latest information that I could find from Granada News, ITV News. So what we know so far from this was earlier today. So a gunman forced his way into her home on Monday about 10 p.m, 22nd of August. She wasn't the intended target, nor were any members of her family. Olivia was getting ready for bed, and Olivia's mother heard a commotion outside. She heard gunshots outside, and she opened the front door to see what was going on. And a man who was being chased, who we now know is someone called Joseph Nee, he was being chased by a rival gang. So this was gang warfare. And I've done a couple of lives digging into the background of that gang warfare and how these two gangs have created this situation that has resulted in Olivia being murdered. So Joseph Nee saw the open door, got into the house, and the gunman that was firing at him chased him and started shooting. And one of the bullets hit Cheryl, Olivia's mother, in the hand. It went through her hand and into Olivia's chest. And police rushed her to Alder Hey Children's Hospital, which is very close to Olivia's home, but they couldn't save her. So the gunman had two guns and he was just firing indiscriminately. Joseph Nee, the intended target, was hit but got away. And he had a friend pick him up in a black Audi and take him to hospital. So Joseph Nee is now in jail. He was out on license, and he was arrested, and he's in jail, but he's not talking. So he's not going to snitch on the rival gang because, you know, there's apparently honor in silence amongst these people. There's a conspiracy of silence amongst these people. He's probably afraid for people he knows, you know, but he's not talking, even though a 9-year-old girl took the bullet that ended her life that was intended for him. Honestly, I probably would have opened the door as well. You know, you just hear noise outside and you think, what on earth is that? And you just open the door. I would have gone out. I'd have been gawking me, right? I'm out, like, looking. You know, and because you're not sure, are you, if it's gunfire? You're not really sure. Is it fireworks? Is it kids messing about? What is it? What's going on? So I don't blame her. I mean, I'm sure that she's, you know, is beside herself. You know, that one decision that she made, you know, just so sad, and it's just horrific. It is. It's absolutely horrific. It really is. Anyway, there's been a number of arrests, and I'm glad that ITV News have been keeping account of all of these arrests because there's been a number of them. So we'll go through the list. So and what I think's happening, what I think the police are doing, is they're throwing as many darts at the board as they can. Nobody's talking from either of these gangs. They know who these people are, right? They know who these gang members are, and they're shaking the tree, right? They're shaking the tree, hoping that something will stick. Now, these gang members, these are not the guys who are reaping all the rewards of this gang activity. They're not. The gang leaders are sunning it up in Spain and Portugal, and, you know, they have villas in the Mediterranean. These are the foot soldiers. These are the guys who are just carrying out orders. And none of them are too bright, right? Let's be clear. None of them are bright. So I think the police are just arresting as many of them as they can, rounding them up, keeping them for as long as they can, and then they've got to bail them out. So in the UK, you can the police can arrest you and hold you without charge for 24 hours, after which time they have to apply to a judge to hold you for longer, to question you for longer. So I think the maximum that a judge will allow is 4 days, 96 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it might be 5 days, but I think it's 4 days. So, yeah, and they can keep you for 4 days, and they can interrogate you, and they can keep you, without sleep. They've got to let you sleep sometime, but they can keep you, but all you have to keep doing is saying, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment, no comment. And then they have to bail you out. Unfortunately. Oh, there's a lot of gun crime. You'd be surprised, Ruthless. You'd be surprised. There's a lot of gun crime in the UK. Okay. Because I live on the doorstep of Merseyside. I actually live in Lancashire, but I'm close to the Merseyside border. What they do is they come into Lancashire and a bit further north into Cumbria, and they steal guns from things like farms and stuff like that. And then they sell them or rent them on. So there's a lot of gun crime. Anyway, 9 people in total have been arrested in connection with Olivia Pratt Corbell's murder. So this is the rogues gallery of who has been arrested and who's been bailed out. So on Friday, 26th of August, so just 4 days after Olivia was murdered, 33-year-old man from Dovecot and a 36-year-old man from Huyton, which is near Dovecot, it's the next kind of little town along, were arrested on suspicion of murder. The 36-year-old was recalled to prison. So he is inside, right? So he was bailed and then immediately sent back inside for breach of his license. So that's good. But the 33-year-old man was released on bail. Then on the 4th of September, 4 men were arrested in connection with Olivia's murder. 34-year-old man from Liverpool, a 41-year-old man from Knowsley, which is another suburb of Liverpool, for assisting an offender. A 29-year-old man was arrested for assisting an offender. They were given an extra 36 hours to question these 3. But to no avail. Then a 34-year-old man from Liverpool was running away. He'd managed to run 130 miles from the city, and he was arrested for assisting an offender. Then on Wednesday, 7th of September, these 4 men were conditionally bailed. So all 4 of these men have been bailed out. Then on Thursday, 8th of September, a 29-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender, and he remains in police custody now. That is interesting, because if the maximum that they can give you, that a judge can give you to keep someone in a room interrogating you, waterboarding you, maybe not, is 96 hours, is 4 days. Well, 4 days have gone because we're now Tuesday. So we're now 5 days, right? 5 days. So there's one man who it appears that the charges are going to stick, and that's for assisting an offender. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm wondering whether he's actually inadvertently said something that has resulted in them being able to keep him. That's just my assumption, though. My assumption. Gangs are big business. Go back and watch the lives I did on the what's behind all of this. And you're talking millions of pounds being exchanged for cocaine. This is all about cocaine. It's millions of pounds. Pounds in as in the currency, not pounds as in the weight, but millions of pounds. The gang leaders are hugely rich. Hugely rich. So this is not just little lads hanging out on street corners pretending that they're hard. This is big business. This is big business. These guys are just foot soldiers. They're the infantry. Hello. 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 What are you doing? What's the matter? Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's senseless, it's needless, but it's big business. It really is. Go and watch the live. There's a couple of lives that I did on this channel where I dug into the background of this. And I've got more. I've got a lot more to do on this. Got a lot more to do because there's a lot more that I think I can kind of piece together about all of these gangs. They give the gangs silly names. They really do. But hey, what can you do? Anyway, so he remains in police custody. So that's interesting. Then on Thursday, 8th of September, police arrested an 18-year-old man from West Derby, which is another suburb of Liverpool, on suspicion of assisting an offender. The following day, 9th, a 37-year-old man, also from West Derby, was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. The two men from West Derby have since been released on bail, pending further inquiries. And then just yesterday, Monday, 12th of September, detectives carried out a search of West Derby Golf Course to try to find the guns that were used the night 9-year-old Olivia was murdered. Search teams are being supported by Northwest Underwater Search Team and the Merseyside Police Drones Unit. So, they've got reason to believe that the guns were being hidden on a golf course. So I don't know whether they found anything, because that was the latest news I could find. This is from yesterday. So detectives investigating the murder of Olivia carried out searches at a golf club to try to find the weapons that were used that night. Merseyside police are searching the golf club for any guns. So obviously they've had some kind of tip off that this golf club is holding guns, or they're being hidden on the premises or outside. So, yeah. They are very dangerous. They are very dangerous. But they're not. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Come for me. Come for me. Show yourselves. Show yourselves. Okay. Let's see what the latest is on Twitter about this. I don't think there's anything new at all, but let's just have a look. That's the latest. I mean, there's, her classmates are obviously devastated. And then there's some local football teams doing charity matches for Olivia. But there's no actually, there's no more news at the moment. That's the report that I've just read you from ITV Granada Reports, which is my local news station. And that's what we know so far. So that's the update for Olivia. As I said, what I think is happening is they're shaking trees. They're arresting and holding as many people as they can for as long as they can, and hoping something will stick. But what it's doing, it's scaring people. It's scaring people. You know, one of them was running. One of them was found 130 miles away. But these are just the foot soldiers. They're expendable. They think they're hard, you know, playing with guns and that. But the people who are reaping the rewards of this multi-million-pound cocaine industry are sunning it up, you know, with sangria and, you know, probably, you know, just living the life of Riley out there in the Mediterranean. And these young lads, and some of them middle-aged men, running around with guns, thinking they're hard, you know. But it's big, big, big business. So if you live in the north of England and you use cocaine, you are supporting these guys, because the cocaine that is supplied throughout the entire north of England comes from these gangs. So make your choice, because the only way that this will stop is by cutting off the money supply. Stop buying it. Stop buying it. Simple as that. Because if you stop buying it, they don't make money anymore. So what can you do? What can you do? All right, so who else have we got to talk about? There's someone else. Oh, of course, Crystal. So I don't know whether you've heard of this case. It's a strange one. I'm going to say it's a strange one. All right, just let me close some of these windows. Let's talk about Crystal Anderson. Oh, I didn't want to close Twitter. Just have to reopen Twitter. Crystal. Why can I not spell Crystal? Crystal. Oh, no, not got it. Anderson. Explore the Crystal. Right, I'll do Crystal Anderson missing. There we go. Right, got it. Okay. All right. Crystal Anderson. She's a 30-year-old woman, absolutely beautiful, who has been missing since August the 20th. August the 20th. And they kind of know who's done it. It's bizarre. So I'll play you a quick news piece, just going through the details of the case. It's like literally less than 2 minutes. And then we'll talk about it, and we'll show you some of the latest updates on that. It's very disturbing. It's incredibly disturbing. Oh, he just phoned me. Oh, good stuff. I don't come live that often. You know, I have little fits and spurts of coming live, but I'm not, you know, primarily my channels are videos that I pre-record, edit, and then upload. But I don't know whether this is to me, Trixie. Down the rabbit hole, I'm afraid that was the answer. Question, do you know how many years a life sentence is there? In the UK or somewhere else? Because I can tell you that in the UK, murder it's a mandatory 15 years. 15 years for murder. and then anything else that the judge wants to add on. So it's rare that life means life in the UK. Very rare that life means life. There has to be like special, like incredibly special circumstances for someone to go down for life, you know, with no possibility of parole. You have to be like the worst of the worst serial killer to so it's oh right, okay, so I'm on the right lines. So it's 15 years. If you get done for murder, you get 15 years. That's it, 15 years. And then whatever the judge wants to add on, so things like aggravating situations. I was a jury member in 2020 on a murder trial, and there was two defendants, a father and a son. The son got 15 years, so the minimum that the judge could give him, and the father got 16 years. He got the extra year because he was the guy that started the fight that resulted in the murder. Yeah, don't get me started. So it's very rare that, like, people like Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, Myra Hindley and Ian Brady, the Moors murderers, like, they were lifers, like true lifers. Myra Hindley, before she died, she applied for parole so many times and got turned down. Like, she thought she could get parole, but she never did. But yeah, it goes all the way up to government. Like, it goes way past like the judiciary. It goes to the Home Secretary, who no, they'll get. I bet you any money. That when Olivia's killer is caught, they'll throw some extra years on. What they'll hope for is that they can slam a load of extra charges on as well. That's how people get a significant amount of time in the UK. It's that the prosecutors throw everything that they can. So not only will they get murder, they'll get weapons charges, they'll get drugs charges, and hopefully the judge will have them running, you know, consecutively, not concurrently. So yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. It's very disheartening, but what can you do? Anyway, I'm going to play you this this short clip. It's less than 2 minutes long. It's just gives a very brief overview of the case, just in case you've never heard of it. And then I'm going to talk a little bit around it as well.
Pleading for answers tonight. The family of a Midlands woman pleading for answers tonight after she went missing from her Aiken County home. Cleother Anderson, a Columbia native, disappeared 2 weeks ago on August 20th. As the investigation continues, they're hoping the public can help bring her home safely.
A plea for answers.
You need to speak up.
The family of Cleother Anderson says her disappearance has been an emotional roller coaster as the days searching turned to weeks. Shadira Smothers is her sister.
We are going to bring Cleother home, and her story is going to be a testimony to help other women.
On Saturday, they gathered in prayer, lighting candles for the Columbia mother of four and C.A. Johnson High School graduate.
She was very responsible. She was a good mother, a good friend to those who know her.
They say Anderson had only recently moved to Aiken County when she disappeared from her Wagner home on August 20th. Shonja Cleveland is a private investigator.
I want everyone to know, from Columbia to Wagner, and we've gotten some very good leads, to keep those leads coming.
News 19 reached out to the Aiken County Sheriff's Office, which is leading the investigation, for more details. The office said in a statement, "We cannot confirm anything at this time. We are actively working this case and all leads."
This is why it's so important that if anyone knows anything, to say something. no matter how small it is.
This right here, the outcome, we're going to save lives afterwards, and we're going to help other families that have experienced what we've gone through.
Well, if you have any information that you think can help, call Crime Stoppers, 1-888-CRIME-SC.
Sorry, guys. I know I'm on mute. Yeah, it's fine. I've got it. Okay, I'll start again. So, Crystal has been missing since August the 20th. I'm not muted anymore. Crystal's been missing since August the 20th. Her family believe that they know not what happened to her. They don't know what happened to her, but they believe they know who did it. Okay? And it's her boyfriend, someone called Tony Barry. Is it Tony? I'm doubting myself. Wait till you hear the story, Karen, because it's a bizarre story. So Crystal's got 4 children. Now, the eldest child is someone else's, right? And it's actually him that raised the alarm, because Crystal failed to pick that eldest child up from school. And the school got in touch with him and said, hey, your kid's here, you know, what's going on, kind of thing. And he was the one that raised the alarm. So Barry, I want to call him Tony. I'm going to have to double check, because I'm sure it's Tony Barry. Let's get a picture of him. Let's get a picture of this guy, Tony Barry. Why is it normally putting pictures up? I'm gonna have to do it this way. This dude is who we are looking for. This dude here, who is in his 40s. I think he's about 45. Right. He's the father of her younger children. And this man is abusive. Abusive. Her family knew that he was abusive. She kept breaking up with him and then unfortunately going back to him. This particular day, August the 20th, the children witnessed, wait for this, witnessed an argument between Crystal and this Barry dude outside of their home, and witnessed their mother being put in the trunk of his car and driven, well, not driven away at that point. So Barry comes back in the house and Crystal doesn't. And the children haven't seen her since. And no one else has seen her since. Yeah. But somehow the police aren't doing anything about this. That they didn't think that a child's testimony of their mother being put in the trunk of a car being worthy of investigation. Didn't think that. They didn't think that it was, you know, oh, well, maybe they're lying. They're only little kids. Maybe they're lying. And they are only young children. I mean, Crystal herself is only 30. I don't know the ages of her children, to be honest, but they are only young. But still, even very young children can give witness testimony. Yeah, it's the eldest child. The eldest child is someone else's from a previous relationship, and then the younger children, so the 3 younger children, are his, Barry's. Can somebody tell me that his first name's Tony? Because I'm doubting myself. I'm sure it is, but I'm doubting myself. You must be behind. You must be behind. There is. Just fast forward like 30 seconds. And then I realized I was on mute. Yeah, the eldest was at school. And it was the eldest child's father who raised the alarm that Crystal was missing because she had not picked that child up from school. So we've got Mr. Barry, right, comes back in the house. Just fast forward about 30 seconds. You're just slightly behind the stream. You're just slightly behind the stream. So just fast forward about 30 seconds. Tony, thank you, We Are Dust. Thank you. Yeah, Tony Barry. Tilly. Trying to get through the fence. Tilly, come in here. Tilly. What are you doing? Tilly? Oi, don't go in. Immediately back out. Immediately back out. Cassie. Look, they just completely ignore me. Come on. Completely ignore me. Yeah, you. Don't go back out. Thank you. Why am I telling them thank you? They don't listen. Tilly. Good girl. Don't start. Oh, they're going to start fighting in here now. Dear me. Oh, wow. 310 in chat and only 23 likes. Come on. I'm not gonna go any further until I get some more likes. I'm gonna do a Grey Hughes and stop the stream and do lots of noises and be really irritating until I get more likes. Yeah, it helps. It just helps. That's all. It just helps in the algorithm, and yeah, it's just helps get the channel known and boosted. What are you doing? Chill your beans. 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 That's just making them worse. Okay, so Tony Barry. Oh, wow. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's better. All right. So Tony Barry comes back inside, having his children witnessed him putting their mother in the trunk of his car. Then he takes off. So he takes off with his children, right? And he's now on the run. Now his sister's seen him, apparently, He's had some contact with his sister because his sister decided to drop the children off with another of Crystal's family members because clearly Tony didn't want to be bothered with his children, so got his sister to drop them off. So at least the children are safe, right? The children are being cared for by Crystal's family. So at least that's one thing, right? He took off with these kids. The car, Tony's car, has been found burnt out. And Tony is out there. And the police aren't taking it terribly seriously. Now, there's people coming forward reporting abuse from Tony in their previous relationships. There's been a claim of sexual abuse, domestic abuse by other people who knew Tony Berry. And Crystal has been missing since the 20th of August. And where are law enforcement? Exactly, Karen. Destroying evidence. Exactly. That's exactly what he's done. He's burnt his car out to destroy evidence. So was she, presumably, she was alive when she went in the trunk? We don't know, because there's, the children's testimony is the thing that this case hangs on. Yeah, I think he's 45, if I remember rightly. I think he's 45. This is South Carolina. South Carolina. This is Wagner. I'll show you where it is on the map. Be like a little bit of map time. Wagner. Wagner. Here we go. Got it. All right, this is Wagner. There we go. That's Wagner. There's not much to it. It's a very, very small town. Very small town. And this is in Aiken County, South Carolina. So quick facts here from Google Maps. Wagner is a town in Aiken County, South Carolina. Population was only 797 in the 2010 census. 2010 census. Making it the largest settlement in the county north of the South Fork Edisto River. So maybe it's a little bit bigger now, who knows? But she'd not lived there long. She was from Columbia, which is just a bit up. Where is it? There, Columbia. So she's from a kind of a bigger city. And she's moved to Wagner. I don't know why she moved from Columbia to Wagner. I don't know a lot about her life, to be honest. There's not that much information out there, to be fair. Very small police presence, yeah. Yeah. It's, to be honest, it's very common here as well. It's pretty much the first thing criminals do around here is burn cars out. Yeah. But presumably she was alive when she went in the trunk, because the children, as far as I'm aware, didn't witness her dying, didn't witness her falling on the floor or being shot or beaten to death. I don't know though, because we're obviously only getting snapshots from the family. Have you seen any press conferences? No. Have you seen any information from law enforcement? No. It's the family that's putting this information out. And that's right. Right, meow. The children are the eyewitnesses. However, there is protocols in place about how to interview children. about how to interview children to get the best evidence from them. There's protocols in place for children going to court as major witnesses. But it seems to be that Aiken County aren't really interested in following up anything to do with this case, because perhaps they are a very small presence, perhaps, and they don't have the resources. But if they don't have the resources, what, are they just going to let a potential murder, like a potential murderer, go? Because this guy now is on the run. So, again, this is, I'm trying to find a better picture of Tony Berry. Let's see if I can find a better picture of her. Of him, even. I don't think I can. There's a nice little slideshow here that this person's done on Twitter. Hold on. Not that one. Heather. Let's watch this little slideshow. She's absolutely beautiful. She's stunning. I think the family have got a PI on the case. So hopefully they will maybe find some answers. But it's so sad. You know, it's so sad that Crystal's life doesn't appear to matter. They don't care. Yeah. It doesn't seem to matter that she's gone missing because her children were the witnesses to this. It's incredibly frustrating when there are protocols in place to interview children. But there isn't a great deal more information out there at the moment, even though she's been missing since the 20th of August. So if you live in the area, of Aiken County or close by Aiken County, if there's anyone in chat who lives close by, have you heard of this case? Is there anything other than what the family are putting out? Because there doesn't appear to be. But I don't know. Very sad. Very sad. So, who have we got? So there's now, they've upped the reward, I think. Oh no, that's Jalissa's case where the reward, they've got 15,000 now for Jalissa. But there's a reward of 10k for information about Crystal. Children heard her scream, never came back inside. 5'1", 105 pounds. Oops. Black hair and naturally green eyes. And Aiken County Sheriff's Department is 803 642 1761. Or there's an investigator's number there, 803 897 7008. But Tony Berry is also out there. So he needs to be located. I'm going to get a better photograph of him because you never know. Someone might recognize him. Tony Berry, Crystal. There we go. This dude here. So he's 45 years old. He has a gold tooth. So that's a standout sign. Gold tooth. Longish black hair, which I suppose he can cut. But the gold tooth, come on, guys. You know, there can't be that many 45-year-old men hanging around South Carolina with a gold tooth. And a missing finger. Yes, absolutely. Oh, he does, yeah. A missing finger. He's missing a finger and he's got a gold tooth. So surely he can't hide forever. You know, who's funding him? Who's funding his runaway lifestyle? Oh, yeah. Hard to miss, absolutely, CSI. Oh, thanks for joining us, Piper. Hard to miss, yeah. So, locate Tony, in my opinion, locate Tony, interrogate him to within an inch of his life, and maybe there will be some answers for Crystal. It's not looking good for Crystal, I've got to say. It's another one, yet another one. You know, that she's just not been heard from. Her family say that, you know, she's in frequent contact with them. She's not the kind of person who'll just run away and leave her kids. You know, her entire life is centered around her kids. She wouldn't leave her phone behind, and she just wouldn't leave her life behind. But yet here we are. And there are witnesses to this crime. But they're not being taken seriously because they're children. It's so frustrating. It really is. So frustrating. His family have to be hiding. Someone has to be hiding him. Someone has to be hiding him. Now, we know that as I said just before, his sister's seen him because his sister was the one that dropped the children back off with the family. Gold tooth's not that uncommon. I don't know anyone with a gold tooth. Maybe maybe I'm unusual. To be honest, I don't have any details about this dude. There's really not that much information out there. There's a few people have done have done videos. Let's look her up on good old YouTube. Let's do this week. So Gray Hughes has done a video just 12 hours ago. So Gray tends to dig in deep. So Gray might have some further information on her. So Missing Anderton Teen, that's not her. Crime Stories Obsessed. Oh, I think I've watched that one. Mystery Team, don't know that. I think Chasing Truth. Yeah, Chasing Truth. I watched that one. Sleuth Mom's done one. She does some good stuff. Arctic Fox True Crime. Yeah. Aiken County, where to let Crystal Anderson and her family down. You should be ashamed. Absolutely. Here we go. We've got some information here. Arctic Fox True Crime has got his arrest record. So there'll be some information there on his arrest record. I just haven't looked it up. So the information's out there, guys. There's not that much, though. I mean, look, think about the amount of videos, me included, right, me included, who've made videos about Kylie Rodney. And the amount of information that we were able to get very quickly about Kylie Rodney, right? Because the cops were doing daily press briefings. Now, I know that she was 16. She's a minor. It's a little bit different. But a mother of 4 with an abusive boyfriend leaving her children behind, and the children claiming that they saw their mother being put in a trunk, and that doesn't raise any alarm. So Duchess is South Carolina local. Duchess discussions. So I'm guessing that, you know, a handful of people. I've been following this now for maybe a week. I think the first video I saw on it, I wasn't aware of this case. I think the first video I saw on it may have been Chasing Truth. I think I'd seen posters being shared on Twitter, and not really, because there's so many missing people get shared on Twitter. You know, you just think, oh God, there's another missing person. And it's only when YouTubers start kind of, you know, drumming up interest that you start to really pay. Thank you, Cecile. That's very kind of you for the $19.99. So good at keeping us informed. I do try, but there's so many cases that deserve attention. Absolutely. They do. And it's difficult to keep up with them all. So I think it would have been Chasing Truth was the first one I saw and watched that. And I've been kind of, it's been playing out, you know, playing in the background in my mind, thinking I need to dig into this case a little bit more. I need to find out more. But there's not a great deal more. There's not a great deal more out there. But I'll go and see what Gray Hughes has to say about it after this. Do you? A lot of folks with gold teeth in my neighbourhood, which is a diverse neighbourhood. Well, it's not. Cassie. What are you doing? What are you barking at? Don't go back out. You as well. So annoying. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a big fashion statement here in my local area, but they're naughty today. They're naughty. They're being naughty today. They're always naughty. That's why I don't do videos inside very often. They're just always naughty. Yeah, they are. They are. They want more. They want more. They're dreadful. They're worse than children, honestly. Worse than children. Worse than children. Your snake wants a bath. Wow. What's going on? Chill your beans. Anyway, I'm going to call it a day because these dogs are getting leery, getting naughtier and naughtier because, you know, I've not paid them attention for a while. Therefore, they're going to get naughtier and naughtier. Just rewind, Magic Lady. Doesn't matter. It will be here. Just rewind it and watch the replay. Oh my word. 10 5-week-old puppies. Oh no. Oh, that's what breed are they? Oh my word. Oh, I would just love to have 10 5-week-old puppies. Perhaps not the little piddly puddles that they leave behind. Oh, a python. A python named Sully. That's cool. Yeah, I think it did some drone work. It did go. It did some drone work for Julissa. Yeah, it's not like they're not big talker snakes, are they? And they're also not that good at sign language. Yeah, maybe it's to do with the tongue. I don't know. Maybe they're asking their own special way. Wow. Used to have 4 silver front teeth and 2 gold molars. Oh, wow. Do they not feel weird, though? Do they not feel like clunky? Right. I suppose you just get used to them, don't you? I know. I just tune it out because it's just constant. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for tuning in. You know, it's not Kylie Rodney, so it doesn't get the massive amounts of views, and it's not Summer Wells, who maybe gets slightly less views than she used to. But these cases are all out there. They matter. These people are missing. Or in Olivia's case, she's been murdered, and a beautiful, innocent 9-year-old girl has been murdered. And there's a conspiracy of silence going on amongst the gang members of that community, and no one is talking. Everybody deserves, all cases deserve attention. And there's just so many. You know, I can't deep dive every single case that I'd like to. I don't have the time. But there's plenty of YouTubers out there. There's plenty of people in the true crime community out there. And YouTubers will do what the audience wants. You know, so if there's a case local to you, like Olivia's case is local to me, or there's a case that, you know, just speaks to your heart, then badger YouTubers. You know, contact YouTubers and say, please cover this case or please cover this case. And some of them may well take you up on that. And the more people talk about a case, the more people will dig, because YouTubers will do the cases that are popular. They'll do the cases that the audience want to hear about. And it's unfortunate that the audience picks on certain cases that get loads and loads and loads of attention, and then other ones don't. It's unfortunate. It's sad. It's understandable. It's understandable, but YouTube is just like any other media. The popular cases will get the attention, just like any other media. So anyway, I'm going to call it a day here. My son's away for the next couple of days, so you never know. I may chuck another live in there. About maybe some other cases that I'm following, maybe in the next day or two. All right, guys. Thank you, Trixie Star, for modding. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being nice and polite and just being a joy. Anyway, bye, guys. See you soon.